In a world and time where technology and nature are intertwined, a curious and dreamy 8-year-old boy named Leo sets out deep into the cyber forest with his homemade robot Rex. With this journey, they will test their courage, friendship, and the power of innovation. A great adventure awaits them. Strange neon green veins passed along the trees as they stepped onto a winding forest path. "This place feels so alive," Leo whispered in admiration. "Ah." Rex scans the glowing vines, projecting a holographic map and revealing that they are walking on an ancient energy source. This forest was truly a technological forest. Even the animals and trees in the forest seemed like products of technology. Suddenly, a golden-furred fox with cybernetic eyes appeared, its tail flickering with digital light. It looked like a very technological creature. "I think he wants to show us something," Leo said. The fox projected a hologram. In the hologram image it reflected, a secret passage into the depths of the forest was visible. The adventure suddenly took an unexpected turn. I wonder what adventures awaited them in this secret passage. After thanking the fox, they set off again. Leo and Rex began to move quickly through a meadow of glowing flowers, their petals trembling like tiny galaxies. It was as if they were moving among the stars in space, rather than in a meadow. Above them, two moons shed an unearthly light that illuminated a towering cyberpunk castle in the distance. "This must be where the answers are found," Leo exclaimed. Leo and Rex continued their way through the flowers, watching their surroundings with admiration. A lake ahead caught his eyes. They decided to go that way and look at the lake. At the edge of the crystal clear lake, Rex suddenly detects movement under the water. A huge, hologram-like fish suddenly leapt into the air above the water, its scales glowing like digital code. Leo watched in fascination and realized that the water itself could hold secret knowledge. It was like they were in a computer game. When they looked at one side of the fish, the other side was visible. Having accumulated many memories on their journey, Leo and Rex continued on their way. But that beautiful fish was still on their minds. When they heard a sound from the sky, they raised their heads and looked at the sky, and a bird caught their attention. A robotic owl was flying down towards them, its bright blue eyes piercing the mist in the air. He suddenly placed a small metallic scroll in Leo's hand. When Leo opened the scroll, glowing letters were revealed. An ancient riddle seemed to lead them to an uncharted part of Cyberwood. Leo and Rex looked at each other and smiled. It looked like their adventures would take a new turn. This robotic owl had placed in their hands the scroll that would take them to a new level. Leo and Rex, who redrawn their path with the new map they received, found themselves in a hidden area in the forest. While they were passing through a very quiet area, they were suddenly surrounded by deers with neon-lit antlers and rabbits with robot ears. Leo knelt down and extended his hand to these robotic forest creatures. "They're not afraid of us," Leo said with a smile. Rex began to scan the forest creatures, beeping curiously. "They are half organic, half machine, just like this world." What a strange forest this was. The creatures in the forest were both living and robot, but they were very friendly anyway. They were warmly welcomed. Our duo chatted for a long time with deer and rabbits and continued their forest adventures. They saw a large building ahead and started to crawl towards it. A massive stone door appeared before them, its surface covered in bright blue runes. "This must be the entrance," Leo muttered as he pulled out his holographic device. Rex's light flickers as it deciphers the symbols. It said, "Only those seeking knowledge can pass through." They looked at each other and focused on solving the puzzle. They eagerly wanted to solve the puzzle and see what was happening in this part of the forest. I wonder what secrets were hiding behind this seemingly magical mechanical door. After trying for a few hours, They heard a sound like a click from the door, and the door suddenly started to open. They were making strange noises from inside. They looked at each other, then decided with their eyes and entered the room together. Inside, red eyes pierced the darkness and came towards them.
Oh, my good cyber wolves.
They circled around Leo and Rex, growling, their metallic claws shining. Holding a glowing staff, Leo shouted, "Don't come any closer," he shouted. Rex's arms turned into protective energy shields at the same time. It's time to overcome the wolves. The wolves retreated as Rex and Leo stood firm. Continuing their journey, our duo discovered a new path in the back. On their way, a damaged, half-collapsed bridge stood between them and the next part of the forest. "We need to fix this," Leo said, rolling up his sleeves. Using Rex's energy tools, they began rebuilding it piece by piece. By the time the last panel was in place, the bridge was beginning to glow with new life. From now on, other creatures could easily use this bridge. Our duo, who repaired the bridge and continued on their way, found themselves at the top of a slope. Leo was looking up in surprise. A floating island just above the treetops. There was a floating island in the sky, as if it were floating on water. How did we get there? Leo wondered. Rex extended its arms and formed a hook. It beeped hold on tight. Together, they soared into the unknown. I wonder what they would encounter on the island. When they landed on the island, they encountered a slightly more advanced robotic forest below. The surroundings were covered with utopian elements and looked quite similar, yet different. They stepped into a glowing treehouse made of metal and vines, the walls of which were covered with floating holographic books. Who built this place? Leo wondered. Rex scanned an old inscription. Refuge of a lost inventor. I wonder what secrets are hidden here. I wonder who the inventor was and could he still be around. It really seemed like their adventures had leveled up. They had arrived in a different world that appeared to be the same as the one below. Leaving the treehouse, Leo and Rex continued to explore the island. They saw a creature a little further away and headed towards it. It was a turtle. A wise old turtle whose shell was covered in glowing runes greeted them. He looked a little bit alive and a little bit robot-like. The runes on its shell glowed brightly. "You have traveled far from home, young people," he said in a deep, robotic voice. "This island is visible to good people who are truly pure-hearted. Since you are here, I congratulate you for being so pure-hearted. Those who have anything but goodness in their hearts cannot even see the island, let alone come to it." As Leo projected a holographic map from the turtle shell, he realized that the final piece of the puzzle was within reach. Thus, this opened the way for a new adventure for them. They had long conversations with the wise turtle. They all talked about the island's past and why it was in the sky. Then, saying goodbye, Leo and Rex continued on their way. They found themselves in a flower garden that was like a labyrinth full of beautiful flowers. They were in a field full of lights that sparkled like colorful neon lights. This place was both very beautiful and very confusing. They had to find out how to get out of this maze by enjoying the flowers. Rex, who loved flowers very much, was trying to enjoy this flower field, and they were moving forward at the same time. It was difficult for them to move forward as the flowers grew taller in some places. As they moved through the flower garden, they felt like they were moving deeper into the island. At the heart of the island, they found a huge tree pulsating with golden energy. They had already noticed the light of the tree from afar and moved towards that light. Leo reached out and felt the warmth pass through his fingers. This is what keeps the island and the forest alive, he realized. So this was the key to balancing nature and technology. It looked like a heart, but shimmered like the sun. It both gave people peace and warmed their hearts. This tree of life seemed to make all this difference between this island and the forest below seem robotic and alive. While they were chatting with the cyber tree, two ancient guardians, half organic, half machine, blocked their way. "Prove your wisdom,"
someone demanded.
Leo and Rex had to answer 3 riddles, each more challenging than the last. Relying on their pure-heartedness and good intentions, our heroes were confident that they would solve these riddles.
They suddenly found themselves in a pond. The first question was how lakes form.
Leo answered immediately. If you know the answer, you can also answer this question.
When you answer the question, the second question comes up.
How do fish breathe in these waters?
Leo responded immediately to this too. If you know, you can also answer.
Then suddenly, they teleported from the pond to the forest, and an eagle appeared above them.
The eagle asked them the last question. How do birds move in the air? The eagle asked them. Rex answered this immediately. If you know, you can answer this question. When they answered this question correctly, Leo and Rex looked at each other with pride, proving that they were both pure-hearted and intelligent.
In the evening, Leo and Rex, who were very tired, lit a fire and sat by the fire.
They read the details of their adventure and completed the missing parts when Leo took out the notebook in which he had written down everything from the first moment they started their adventure. What an adventure it had been!
This forest and then the island life, where technology and normal life intertwined, seemed to engulf them. They were both filled with happiness and pride in sharing this adventure together. His notebooks and notes would preserve his memories forever.
Maybe he would be the guide of other pure-hearted creatures who wanted to embark on this journey. While they were slowly making preparations to return home from the forest, Leo said to Rex, "We witnessed the coexistence of technology and the old. They had seen a turtle, but its shell was renewed with technology. So were the trees, forest, and flowers."
As they leave, a small softly glowing cybernetic flower blooms in Leo's hand.
"Some part of Cyberwood will always be with us," Leo whispered.
Rex then beeped in approval. This adventure might have ended here, but its magic would never fade. It would always be with them, along with the memories and this flower. Back home, Leo places the glowing flower on his desk, looking at the sketches of his journey.
"This is just the beginning," he says as he picks up his pen.
With a world full of wonders still waiting to be discovered, who knows what adventure awaits next?
He thought.
The adventures he went on with Rex and the places they went to were flashing before her eyes. One by one, he knew that as long as they were with Rex, they would explore everywhere. Rex was a good friend, a good travel and adventure companion. They would continue their adventures forever.
This tale ends here, friends. See you in another tale. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our tale.